obviously beholden
Mm.
is to develop anti-aging medicines. So that's what we've devoted ourselves to, finding those hanging fruits that we can immediately grab for ourselves. Things like frailty. But fortunately, I believe, Didier Colonel of Belgium funded us to do a longevity study, and that's ongoing. At this present point, the rats have just had their third longevity treatment. The longevity treatment, by the way, consists of 4 injections given on alternate days, so a week. And it starts to take effect in about a week. And we'll see the rest. We don't have that much information. So far, we only have data on 2 rejuvenations. And in the second rejuvenation, first rejuvenation, we saw the animals. We used inflammatory cytokines, IL-6 levels, to judge their, quote, age. And we saw those levels going up again at higher than normal rates after the first rejuvenation process. After the second rejuvenation process, we didn't see any rise in age at any rate other than the normal rate. So we believe we can return you basically to early adulthood, and then you can proceed to age from there. Again and again, how many times, we have no idea. But that's what Didier Cornell wants to find out. Of course, we do too.
Right. So how many, so in the Didier Cornell experiment, where you're just you're trying to see how long they'll live. So how many rats do you have in that?
8.
And so a question that I have, where did the name E5 come from?
A lot of people ask that. I originally called it ELIXIR. It was just a working, running title, as it were, for short for ELIXIR Vitae, ELIXIR of life, the ancients. But that was kind of grandiose, although true. So Akshay says, well, we'll call it E5. I said, E5? Why E5? He said, well, I suppose the E was for ELIXIR. And he says 5 is a lucky number.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Okay. So the rats are on their third, it's like their third, the third rejuvenation. So how old are they now? So how long until they become like record holders?
I believe they're about 3 years old now, so they've still got at least a year before they start breaking records. So it takes time, and it costs a bit, but and I wish we could have the results. At one point, I don't know how many of our controls died at this point. I have to find out. Kavita is going to be giving a big report, so we'll find out. But I believe some did, and I believe there are statistical formulas for predicting lifespan based on that, knowing how many treated and untreated died, etc. But I don't go. I don't go by that. I go by seeing a 5-year-old rat, or better yet, a 35-year-old rat.
Right. Interesting.
With my own eyes.
With your own. Yes. So, do you know have any of the treated died at this point?
No.
No. Okay. But they're about 3 years. Okay.
We could expect them to begin dying at this age.
Right. And some of the controls may have died at this point.
Yes.
Okay, that would be interesting. So,
Yeah.
so the other thing is, when we last talked, and actually in the book as well, you talked about getting confirmatory data, and you talked about Dr. Greg Fay doing some experiments with rats. Now I
Well, with dogs.
With dogs, yes. Now I talked to Dr. Fay recently, and he said there was, he was kind of ready, but there was perhaps not enough E5.
Correct.
So can you just, where are we on that?
I mean, this is basically our mission in the United States, my mission. My assistant is not a scientist, so more my mission than anything else. And basically to bring production up to levels where, because it is possible that this could be a very widely distributed to everyone substance, not a drug. So that's our mission, mass production. We've had a number of issues, and we've solved all of them, and we think we're very much on the road to success in the scale-up process. So that's, I mean, that's not an easy thing, scaling up production from rats, which weigh half a kilo, to humans, which weigh, 60, 100 kilos.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, and scaling, I guess chemical production is like a different skill set, right? I mean,
well, there's a lot I can't say.
Okay.
I can say that we have developed skills that never existed. So,
okay.
and devices as well.
Right.
So we're working hard on the case, and we've been working, it seems endlessly, but finally we're getting results, and we're getting results in fairly large amounts, and if we can just extend that, if we can just repeat it, dependably, we're fine.
Right.
So that's what we're doing. So I would love to start those dog experiments as soon as possible, but the dogs are hefty animals weighing 40 kilos. So that's kind of inhibited us, and really we want to be able to produce it here in quantities sufficient for dogs and animals. So that's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing.
That's what you're doing. So I assume that the story is very similar for the CRO, then the contract research organization, that is also being held up because of lack of production.
That's correct. We want to be able to send our stuff to a CRO. We've had enough trouble with getting stuff in and out of India. A lot of trouble. But we want to send our stuff to a CRO and have it tested, for instance, on rats or non-human primates or relatively smaller animals.
Right. Okay. Yes.
That'll be faster.
Yeah. Yes, that will make sense.